Yo, 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 yo. Welcome back to FMP, that's Foundational Manhood Podcast. I'm your host, DS1 Ross, and here's my co-host, my brother, the Book of Ronan. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to everybody. Make sure y'all follow us over there on IG at Foundational Manhood Podcast. Also follow us on YouTube at Foundational Manhood Podcast is where you can keep up with us. So shout out to you, my brother. We are back. We are here with episode 10.
Yeah.
Episode 10. Pedophilic relationships. This should be a good one. So let's get into it, family.
Let's do it.
Shout out to everyone. I appreciate all the support. Shout out to everyone. Make sure y'all hit that like button. But before we get into the show, here's your 5-minute fire watch. It's on you, my brother.
Bunny Graham. Nah, let me stop bullshit. All right, fellas. There's a fine art and necessity of indifference. Let me explain. So you got a lot of brothers out here who have been programmed to be hypersensitive, hyperreactive, and not getting back to thinking clearly about the moves we need to make. As Denzel said, it's chess, not checkers. So when you have a lot of these goofies out here, these chicken heads, and the pressures of society pushing you in a certain way, ultimately self-destruction. Sometimes no response is a needed response. Everything doesn't need your ear. Everything doesn't need you to react to it all the time. Starting with the thoughts. When they come with these nonsensical figures where you have to be 6 figures, 6 feet, 6 inches, all these different things. A lot of that is coming from other people's talking points, or she needs help. As I've said, you got chicks out there who are trading underwear with her girlfriends, knowingly or unknowingly. A lot of those chicken heads who put these lofty standards on you, all she had was half a bag of Doritos and an egg. Living in abject poverty in a hillside condo, but looking for you to do the 12 labor of Hercules to save her from herself. Then you'll have guys out there who will pocket watch or cock watch. And you'll have guys see that women naturally like you or like being around you. Some are even attracted to you. You got some guys who will have smoke for you because of that. But see, the art of indifference, intentional indifference rather, will let you see the bullshit in real time and respond in the way you need to. See, when they say favor isn't fair, and when people talk about karma doesn't always immediately destroy your enemies, both foreign and domestic. Sometimes karma will allow them to sit back and catch a front row seat and watch them stew in their bullshit while you consistently getting blessed, while your network gets bigger, while you add more weight to your name. Your pockets get fatter. Your purpose becomes fulfilled. When you have that intentional indifference, you start seeing people who have earned the right to be socially and spiritually sterile and stay away from that. Quarantine yourself from people who are looking to bring toxic energy to your situation. Jealousy, envy, all that gaslighting because you were favored with greatness and you have the nuts to not only realize it, but you're around some people who will help you nurture it. And that's been your 5-minute fire watch.
Shout out to you, my brother.
Yay.
So
Bye.
today, bro, we have episode 10, pedophilic relationships.
Yeah.
And this is a topic that we really need to speak on because from the aspect I'm going to come at this is
Okay.
a lot of guys are with women or have been with women who wants to treat you as her son,
Mm.
but she wants you to treat her as your woman.
Go into that.
And I'm saying this because there's a lot of women out here today, fellas, that want you to protect her, to provide for her, as if you're her man, to problem solve for her, to even put a baby in her. All the while, in her mind and how she treats you like a little boy. She try to control how you respond. She tries to control where you go, how you do things. She tries to shape and mold your purpose around what she needs you for, like a child. All the while, you're going to work, you're sacrificing, you're doing all these things as if this is your woman. But you don't even know that this woman don't even see you as her man. She sees you as her son, a person she can control and dictate and tell how to be. You see?
Damn.
All the while, you think you're the man and you taking care of everything. But she don't respect you because you're a child to her.
Mm.
This is why no matter what you do, it's never good enough. Because in her mind, you have to live up to a whole nother standard, which is a standard that she puts her child in and not her man.
Wow.
And a lot of you guys don't understand that you are in a pedophilic relationship.
That's a lot to take.
And and I know a lot of you guys, you like to speak on the mother-son dynamic. And yes, that's true. That's true. But a lot of you guys don't understand that it's a dynamic. So even though you are not her son, she puts you in that position. So it's still the same dynamic in your relationship. And I know all too well about this.
Mm.
Touch on that, bro.
Yeah. That's a lot to take in. That's one heavy start, man. I want to start with the other side. And granted, a lot of men are attracted to a woman in her youth and her beauty, which hopefully, are selling points. But I think more guys are starting to become more attracted to her futility than her femininity. A lot of guys like to catch a lot of chicks brand new so they can program them to be their own little toy, porn star. You don't see much about uh, being about effective husbands, leaders, um, curse breakers. You just mainly focus on the procreation part. Just let me smash, 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 smash until she gets old. but you didn't promote anything about any internal or external development. Because there's a lot of women who may be of the same age, but she's probably mentally 14 or lower. How she responds to things, how she does things in public, her narratives. You ain't my daddy. Things of that nature, which can go further deeper. But that's on the other side of things, where you got a lot of guys who are looking for that immature bride. And he too has his sense of being a control freak. That's what I see.
Man, I'm glad you brought up the other side of it, because you know that is a big talking point now also, about how guys are forced to deal with damaged goods, and
Yeah.
you know guys should be able to get these women who have never been tampered with and things of that nature. But
Hmm.
as you spoke on, bro, and this is what a lot of guys don't touch on or delve into, is the emotional immaturity
Yeah.
that comes along with you, not you in particular, but with guys who are trying to chase after these young, quote unquote, untampered with women.
Yeah.
Those women come with a level of emotional immaturity. They're not grown women. They're
No.
not women who hasn't had a certain level of experience. So even though you might get the goodies, and the goodies ain't never been tampered with, but you still dealing with a whole child.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which goes back to the topic, because now I gotta play daddy while role playing as daddy in the bedroom at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah. Or you got guy, and this whole thing with the whole thing with the cougar situation.
Mm-hmm.
You got chicks that, yeah, of course their sex drive often, gets higher and whatnot. But what happens when you hook up with someone whose financial maturity has yet to be developed, or he's suffering from a masculinity miscarriage?
Mm.
They just stop dead. I mean, we mentioned it about in many corners of this manosphere space being reduced to never never land, never want to grow up. And you got effective content creators who put out content and talking about you need to do self-improvement, you need to work on your health, you need to work on your finances, you need to develop your overall worth. But where do you see most of the traffic go? To a lot of these internet beefs and a whole heap of misinformation and frauds
Mm-hmm.
who basically panhandle for money and misinformation.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a pedophilic relationship in and of itself, because being in this space for over 15 years, where's the actual tangible growth from this space or in other similar spaces?
That's a good question. That's a very good question, because what happened, and me and you, we always speak on this.
Yeah,
Guys married mediocrity,
man, man.
and and this relationship that guys have with losing
Mm.
has trauma has become the mother of a lot of men.
Go into that. Damn.
And I'm saying that because, first of all, a lot of men's trauma stems from their mom. And being that a lot of guys don't ever reconcile that part with their mom or never get a chance to, because a lot of guys' moms die. What happens is the trauma that was left, they then get into a lifelong relationship with that. And that begins to lead and govern and comfort and do all the things that the mother does. The trauma replaces. And this goes into what we've been talking about lately about men nurturing their negative narratives. That is because trauma has become your mom. And you're in this pedophilic relationship where you're in love with trauma. You're in love with abuse. You're in love with emotional abuse. You're in love with it.
Yeah, I'm glad you said it, because like that's what kind of ties into what was said earlier in the Firewatch. Like, you have to have an art of intentional indifference, because when you hear all these negative narratives from both sides of the divestment group, male and female, they haven't gone anywhere, and if they do, they come right back. Like, why are you concerned about making these announcements? I'm going here, I'm going there. Do it. Do it. But they do it because they hope the other side cares. They hope the other side responds. And both sides are still running from themselves.
And that's what we see going on. And just to go to the other side, which is the women,
Mm-hmm.
you have a lot of single mothers who can't or don't know how to keep a functional relationship with a man. So she puts all that trust and all of those things that she's supposed to put into a man, she puts it into her son.
Mm.
And this is how that relationship develops, where he becomes the man of the house instead of the son of the house.
Yeah.
He becomes a version of her man, not only just her son. And a lot of times, you know, things can get crazy and spin out of control, and this can lead into other things, even sexual acts. This is what you see going on today, and it's played like, like you had brought up before. It's shown in porn, where you have this incest thing going on. It becomes, and then it becomes a relationship where the mother marries the son because the son becomes the protector, the provider, the problem solver, and sometimes even a procreator.
Yeah. In most cases, and say in both cases, it seems like that person is pursuing the youth that they squandered. That's what it looks like to me.
And not just that, it's them trying to get something that they feel that they deserve by any cost.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because a lot of these women who take on these types of relationships with their sons, these pedophilic relationships, is because they feel like they should get a man at any cost. I deserve a man. I should have a man.
Yeah.
That's why some of them even turn their sons into their man.
Yeah.
You know, literally and figuratively.
Yeah.
This is what's going on. You know, and it's a sick dynamic because it all goes back to the lack of parenting.
Yeah.
Because if you're looking for a man in your son, that is because you never could find the man that was for you, because you don't know what he looks, feels like, sounds like, or whatever. Because 9 times out of 10, there was no man there for the woman. There was no father around.
Yeah.
So throughout her life, she goes and seeks out that fatherly masculine energy. And some women even seek that shit out in their kid, in their sons. It's sick, it's crazy, but it's a reality.
Yeah.
It's a reality.
And it's a means of control.
Yes, go into that, bro.
Uh, you figure if you start with someone who's fresh, who's new, who don't know what the hell's going on, but you do, they're addicted to the feeling or the idea that person gleans to them for direction and you know a sense of leadership. And when it comes to those situations, both male and female, you know, some of them can be very authoritative about their real dictators when it comes to it. They
Mhm.
want you in this little box. You can do this, don't do this. I want you to look like this, don't do this. And now, not only do you treat them like a fetish, but you treat them like your emotional tampon or speed bag at leisure. It really is soft abuse or pre-abuse before it really gets into the heavy shit.
So it's kind of like prepping.
Prepping is grooming. Yeah,
Yeah, grooming.
it's like grooming. It's just in most cases it's socially acceptable because nowadays, when you hear a lot of these teachers who, well, we can get to that another episode, but that's gonna come. But let's say for example, for like when it's a woman dealing with a younger man, she's getting her youth back. Where we saw that movie, How Stella Got Her Groove Back.
Right.
That situation. But then you look at the Lifetime, and they'll sit there and have a situation where this guy just outright creep. Just messing around in schools and the school zone and the van, I guess the trademark shit out there. What is that really painting out there? One is good and one is, cool. Very sending very hypocritical messages, mixed messages, dangerous at that, but still. And you think about too, how many times have we seen at school young chicks get in the car with older dudes?
Oh, that's normal.
That's fucking normal.
It is.
Hmm.
It is. And that's crazy too, because it's almost like you said, it's like a form of control.
Hmm.
And fellas, you have to stop thinking that these women out here don't want pets, man.
Yeah.
These women will turn you into a pet. They'll turn you into a child. They'll turn you into a little baby doll. They'll atomize you. They'll, objectify you also.
Yo, bro, what's the term they use? Say like boy toy?
Yeah, a boy toy.
Yeah.
That's a pedophilic relationship. That's pedophilic relationship jargon.
Yeah.
Where you're just a boy toy is just a young dick.
Mhm.
You're just young and sexy and handsome and you're just a fucking machine.
Mhm.
And boy toy was actually created by older women. That is a term used by older women. Remember, bro, we both grew up watching wrestling.
Whew, yeah.
Shawn Michaels was the Heartbreak Kid.
Yeah.
The Heartbreak Kid was loved by younger women.
Yeah.
But the reason why the older women loved him is because of his entrance music.
Yeah.
You just sexy boy. I'm not your boy toy. All of those women, when they used to pan to the crowd, bro, you saw
Yeah.
all them older women singing that shit
Yeah. Happily.
because Shawn Michaels was a boy toy.
Yeah.
He was a boy toy.
What they usually do with their toys when they're done.
Throw them away.
Yeah.
And isn't that what happened to most? Isn't that what usually happens to children for the most part in America today?
Yeah.
They're just used up and thrown away.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's
Oh,
it's crazy how they have kind of like normalized this type of behavior in relationships, even down to parenting their children, spouses. You know, it's interesting how this stuff is played out and people really don't see it. You know.
but bro, you got me thinking. It's like they basically pattern the dating scene as a pedophilic relationship. How we relate to each other, how we move around each other, how you deal with each other
Hmm.
and ourselves.
That's true. That's true because they have normalized you basically treating this grown woman like your daughter. You
Yeah.
got to take her out. You got to pamper her. You got to make her feel special. You got, hey, she's supposed to felt like that from her daddy.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have to dress you in a frozen dress from the Disney story to make you feel special.
Yeah.
You notice how you got a lot of these grown women having these little kid parties.
Yeah. You remember
Grown ass women, grown ass women having Barbie parties.
you remember the whole Harley Quinn phase.
Yes. And what about, bro, what about the ballerina dress phase?
Yeah.
Where
Yeah.
you had all of these women going out wearing these ballerina dresses with tights under them with
Mm.
Jordans.
Yeah.
This it was a phase where women was wearing this out to parties. They was wearing this for their birthdays, with the princess crown on, and
Mm. Yeah.
so what do you what is going on here? Like you're grown now.
Well, I mean, if you look at it, you look in the form as far as like sugar babies and hobosexuals.
Yeah, yeah. Sugar babies is that's pedophilic jargon.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is. Hey man, I know a lot of guys are gonna be like, man, y'all was reaching on this episode. Man, this y'all was kind of reaching. Nah, if you just really think about it
Yeah.
and you really pay attention to the behavior and what goes on in the situation, we're not reaching.
No.
And we're definitely not reaching because you guys cry out or have cried out about how y'all were being treated, how y'all were not being respected as men, how you were not being treated as men.
Well, it's in the answer sit there, and this is just me saying it. It's like I want the guys that want to say that. Think about the many times you gotta go do the 12 labor of Hercules just so your chick or the chick you like offers you her pussy as a treat. You tell me. What about the ones that say you gotta do all these different things for my friends? Like they had a situation with that chick, had her birthday, she had all the little friends out there, and he was supposed to pay for all of them to eat when he's supposed to be taking care of her. She was mad childish, but this is socially acceptable.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Especially, especially for us, bro, because you know the black man is supposed to always be a perpetual child until he dies.
Yeah,
You know, for the most part, they're always going to find a way to consider black men childish and all of these things. But this all traces back to this lust for this pedophilic type of relationship,
or how to
where it's where someone is always a child. Like
yeah.
there's never two adults in a situation.
I mean, what do you often hear? Boy, to try to son you.
Mm-hmm.
It's everything about, I have to run this by my man. And then when you say something like that, she gets shamed for that.
Yep. Oh, why you kissing your man ass?
Yeah.
No, she just respects and reveres her man as she should.
As a matter of fact, since we here, what do they call women that actually respect or even want to deal with men in an honorable manner?
Pygmies.
Pygmisha.
Pygmishas. Mm-hmm.
Like whatever happened to like celebrating like if this man's treating her solid. Wanting to pattern your situation like that. But again, we're talking about a lot of them still want to play in the sandbox. And they'll shame you for not playing, getting dirty there with them. They'll do that.
And bro, what happened to just women having a general respect for a man? Why does it have to be because she shows her respect for a black man that she has to be a pygmisha?
Yeah.
Why can't it just be understood that black women should respect black men? Why can't that just be understood? It is because the world has told everyone that the black man is not a man, he is a child,
Yeah.
and that he actually belongs to the black woman.
Yeah.
So no matter how old he gets, he has to report to his mother, which is his wife sometimes,
Mm-hmm.
his girlfriend, but he always has to report to his mother.
You
See,
know,
so we're always perpetual boys.
bro, this might hit home because we've seen this. You're in a pedophilic relationship when you had to get her permission to be happy. When you had to get authorization to be your genuine self, be it hanging with your boys, getting into your passion, doing things to evolve yourself. If she did not give you permission for that shit or a hall pass to go be yourself, you get punishments. You get locked out. You got to sleep on the couch. You get all these other different things. That's the thing that most people don't want to talk about. And when we do, they try to mute it out. What do you think?
Bro, man, that's powerful, bro, because there's a lot of guys that go through that shit where a woman think that she can punish you or make you pay because you are who you are, and she may get offended by something.
Yeah.
She actually actively seeks out to make you pay for it as if you're a child, as if you have to answer to her.
Yeah. Let me see your phone. Let me smell your dick. Who was that bitch? Why are you liking this? Why are you doing that? Where's the love in that?
Why aren't you here? Why didn't hear from you?
Yeah.
You supposed to do this. You supposed to do that. You supposed to think like this. You're supposed to feel like this. Because the black man is always a child.
That's
And
why
what do you do to children? You tell them what to do.
in turn you hear happy wife, happy life.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, you'll be held hostage.
By her insecurities.
Yeah. Yeah. You have to be the nanny of her insecurities.
You have to be the little boy that's holding down the crib because daddy's no longer there.
Matter of fact, let's go there. It's like, think about the levels of humiliation and abuse that take place in these relationships where if you don't say or do something out, I mean, if you do or say something out of pocket, they can put their hands on you. They can put their finger in your face and your forehead.
Yep.
Try to, get out of pocket and get real cute in front of your people and humiliate you in front of your boys, which basically she is an intentional breach of security. Or they hold your children hostage. Yep. It isn't just the sex. People like to sit there and limit it to that. But you have individuals who are self-serving who find many ways to son you or treat you like a little girl. What are we talking about the fellas for now? Putting holes in your condoms. There's all means of sabotage out here. Or if you, like we had a conversation about having a business meeting late, trying to enforce a curfew, you need to have your black ass home before the street lights come on. Bitch, I'm grown.
Last time I checked.
And according to the deed, that is my home. But
hey, you know how they look at us, bro.
Yeah.
We're forever children and they're the adults. So we have to listen to them. They know best.
When you free yourself, think how childish the responses are. Now that you have the advent of social media now.
Oh, yeah.
So now the cat's literally out the bag. He's this, he done this, he ain't this, he's blah, blah, blah. A whole lot of negative propaganda hoping to cut your chances of having another relationship, but more healthier. When she doesn't get her way or when he doesn't get his way, the real child throws tantrums and starts showing their unnatural asses, ignorant of whatever consequences that come. Even the threat of property damage, legal action, or worse.
Because as you said, bro, it goes back to control and a person who partakes in pedophilic behavior. It's about control.
Yeah.
It's about sex and control. So I can treat you like this whenever I'm ready.
Yeah.
I can abuse you when I'm ready. I don't care if we're in a supermarket. I don't care if we're in a car. I don't care if we're in front of your family. Just like a pedophile. They'll catch you turning a corner and just with nobody looking, touch you.
Yeah.
This is how a lot of men are being treated in relationships. Whenever she's ready, she could abuse you. Physically, mentally, emotionally. Whenever she's ready, she can just gaslight a situation because you said something she didn't like. And because you meant what you said, now she's going to gaslight the situation and make you out to be an abuser. She can pull these types of stunts whenever she's ready. This is what pedophiles
Like, what happens when she's willing to micromanage your mobility when you choose your passion over her? What happens? And it's not like you're choosing it over her intentionally, but your passion should have been there before she came in the picture. Well, the fact that your passion can not only free y'all from financial burdens or whatever have you, but your priority, I mean, your passion takes priority over her. She loses control. She can't micromanage your time. She can't micromanage your movements. The people you are connected to, in the fear of losing what you offer her, what happens when she's ready to sabotage all that?
which goes back to the nature of these pedophiles.
Yeah,
You're not supposed to have a passion. You're supposed to be readily available for me.
yeah,
Your life is on the back burner. I tell you what kind of life you should live. I dictate what you do and how far you go in life. This
yeah,
is the nature of a pedophile. This is what happens. And see, fellas, this is I know a lot of you guys go through this or have been through this or is currently going through this. Understand that you are in a pedophilic relationship where somebody don't even view you as a man. You're viewed as a child.
yeah,
And they can do you, treat you, talk to you, and do you any kind of way. They could throw you away, come back and get you whenever they ready, because that's how they see you.
yeah,
And it's best that what you begin to do is see the worth that you have. Go back and see what you've brought to your relationships. And then you'll realize why you should have self-worth, because you're actually worth something. And just because they've prostituted your worth out,
mhm,
you no longer have to.
yeah. And that's why I tell the fellas mainly, especially in the fireman fire watch, about your passion. Actually, your purpose is your passport.
Mm-hmm.
When you get these chuckleheads to sit there and you say you gotta get the bag, you gotta get this or whatever, they want to micromanage your movement and your growth. See, when you have your purpose, money ain't the issue. It comes with the territory. It has to facilitate your purpose to an extent. It has to. They want to control the growth and the movement of not just your purpose, but you as the individual until they can find another host. Because now you're starting to get out of control. Like when you're doing your thing, it doesn't feel like work. And that's why you notice when you're able to do your thing as far as your passion, you're never tired. But then you're too tired to fuck her because you're done fucking with her.
And I think a lot of times guys got to understand that when you're in a relationship and a person constantly wants to take,
Yeah.
that's the type you're in that type of relationship, because a person doesn't even respect you enough to see that you're a giver. So there's no need to try to take or to try to extract from you. Because in a pedophilic relationship, what happens? Something is stolen from a person.
Yeah.
Something that was once precious is now taken away. And stop allowing these relationships to take those things from you, brothers. That's what I want you guys to take away from today's show. And I'm pretty sure that's what my brother wants you to take away also.
Yeah. I'm gonna say my final word is women who have this pedophilic mindset, you'll know the difference. Like a solid woman, she not only wants to nurture and nest in your masculinity and your masculine light. She wants to see you through. She'll use her manipulative abilities to make sure you get the greatest out of yourself and beyond. The opposite, she will neutralize and neuter your masculinity. She doesn't want that man to evolve because she doesn't want to grow up herself. That's too much for her. She don't want to throw on her big girl panties. She still wants to put on those crunchy drawers on, and you're supposed to love the scent. And that's bullshit. That's my word.
Most definitely, bro. And I definitely agree with you. I definitely agree with you. And you got to realize that, fellas, that sometimes you may have put yourself in this type of relationship because you may find yourself being her daddy while playing her daddy.
Took me back.
You know, and me and you both, brother, we both got experiences where we've had to help women bathe.
God damn.
We've had to keep women on point about things that are actually feminine.
Yeah.
Like why, like if you know you're with a guy, why don't you know these things?
Yeah.
And it puts that woman in a place of being a little girl, because it's like, why don't you know this?
Yeah.
Who didn't tell you that this was important?
Yeah.
So fellas, if you feel like you got a razor, just move away, man, because it's not gonna profit you or her at the end of the day, because all she's gonna do is rebel and hurt herself, and in the end, you're gonna waste a bunch of time and energy and feelings on a person who just don't want to grow up. And the only person that can actually fix that part of her is her father. And you are not her father. So those are my final thoughts. So shout out to everybody. This is episode 10 of FMP. That's Foundational Manhood Podcast, with me, your brother, DS1 Ross, and my brother and co-host, the Book of Ronan. Make sure y'all follow us on IG at Foundational Manhood Podcast. Also follow us on YouTube, Foundational Manhood Podcast. And we will catch y'all on the next episode. Peace.
Peace.